Hello ladies and gentlemen, Yessik Ziiq here again today to bring you another episode, or the first episode of the Infinity Cup for Cloudberry Kingdom, and this is just going to be a very short-lived show where maybe once or twice I try for a high score on the Infinity Cup. Right now I think I'm about 9th place, and it is my objective to at least be in the top 5. Now, I like my current character, but I actually want to change his hat, because I want to have a fireball for a head. So I'm going to go ahead and use this costume right here. As you can see, my player level is 96, and that is the top level I have ever gotten to. I've never gotten to level 100 before, so let's try to get to level 100. This is going to be a show where I don't really have time to get where I don't really have time to do more than 1 or 2 runs per episode. And even then, I probably, oh man, I'm getting some, like, it isn't getting slowdown, I'm just getting like frames dropped or something. Oh no, it seems to be all gone now. Anyways, this isn't going to be a show that I have lots of time to do lots of different runs, and it's also going to be a show where I probably talk a bit less than usual because there's very little to talk about in terms of strategy, and there's even less to talk about if I want to actually do well on the run, because it can get a bit difficult, this game, as time goes on. You might be watching these first few episodes and being like, man, this looks like the easiest fucking game ever. You just wait. If you didn't see my fucking not indie crunch episode of it, you don't even know. You don't even know what I've been through. Yeah, so anyways, right now the high score that I have is 1.13 million. The highest score, first place, is by somebody who is famous for playing the Mario ROM hacks. I unfortunately forget what his name is right now. I will leave the link to the scoreboard in the description. But he has 1.8 million. And he is beating pretty much everybody by a considerable amount. So I'm not going to make it my total objective to beat him, because that might be a bit unrealistic. But I do want to at least get 5th place and kind of be up there. I don't have time for that. So I just need to get to the next episode here. Or not the next episode. Next area. Excellent. As you can tell, I have a multiplier in the bottom corner. How that works is you can only get a ×8 multiplier, or you can only get 8 multipliers. That doesn't mean you can only get ×8 though. As the levels progress, it adds to the multipliers. Okay, that was a bit tough actually. So you can probably... Proton John was his name, I just remembered. So you can get up to like 20 times multiplier is the max I've ever had, but I'm sure you can even get higher. Like at level 20, it will start actually giving me an extra multiplier here. I think I'm getting slowdown, which might not be very fair. I'm just looking at this. No, I'm not getting slowdown. We'll see what happens when I start getting really intense here. So I'm at 8 times multiplier right now. And if you see me get to level 20, if I manage to keep up this multiplier, which is very important. Believe it or not, if I drop my multiplier before level 20, I actually start over from the beginning. That's one of my rules, because, like I said, this is a score attacking game, not just a survival game. Also, to keep the multiplier up, you have to get every single coin. I know for a lot of you who have watched my initial video on this, you guys know all this, but, you know, I have nothing else to describe. So I might as well tell you guys about the multiplier. Oh, Jesus, no, please don't let me die. No, not like this. Yes, that was a reference to Mouse from The Matrix, or I think that was her name, wasn't it? I just don't. I'd rather be on the other side of this spike here, and I'm gonna wait like a couple rounds for this thing to be down and everything to line up nicely. This is as nicely as I'm gonna get. That is almost perfect. I probably should have just gone for the jump there, but I was unsure about these spikes. Usually you want to keep momentum going, but if you screw up the momentum, you want to stop and start really taking your time in this game. Oh! So I did die before 20, but since I am playing for entertainment's sake right now, I'm not going to immediately restart. That was a really stupid way to lose life. Like I said, usually there's a way to get through the entire level without stopping, but sometimes to do that they expect you to do something very strange near the beginning of the level, or just something that you wouldn't expect, like do a little crazy jump at the very beginning, as I just did, a tiny hop. and then you can move forward without actually losing. But if you move before then, you're screwed. Yeah. And here's what I'm talking about with momentum. See, if I stopped there, I would have probably lost track of all the saws and not been able to progress. I was wondering what that saw was attached to for a while until the ghost appeared. Ghosts can be one of the more BS obstacles in this, because sometimes, especially later on, like level 40, 50, they only appear for like half a second or a quarter of a second, and you have to use that time to jump on their heads and get to where you need to be. Don't want to be on there? Okay, lovely. So I'm at my 12 times multiplier right now, bottom right corner, as you can see, and I'm pretty happy with that, but I am very unhappy that I lost my multiplier before getting here. So I have to keep this up for quite some time in order to make up for that. Which so far seems to be going fairly well. But you never know how long that's going to last. And Ghost, and Chainsaw, or Spike Ball, and End. I really like the Flaming Head skin. Especially, I've played some multiplayer of this. Oh, damn. Especially, I've played some multiplayer, and if you have the Flaming Head skin, it is incredibly easy to distinguish who you are as compared to other players. Even though there are different colors. Oh, man, okay. We got some slowdown there for a second. I wouldn't say this is unfair, though. The slowdown appears to be random. So, I've missed crystals now, but I want to get the multiplier up anyways. So I'm going to very dangerously hang out back here and try to get onto this. Oh, never mind, died. So I probably should have just avoided losing the life there and instead just moved on forward and gotten to the end. But did that the second time, and I could still get a very good high score. As you can see, I'm at 300,000 right now. But I need to definitely have like a very good run of form in order to do anything good here. And I'm not entirely sure I'm capable of it. Let's see, 6 times. I need 4 more multiplier increases to get to max. And then pretty much when I get to that 4 more multiplier increases, it should be the next multiplier up stage. Which would be good timing, because then I would be able to maybe do a few levels at a 16 times multiplier or at a 14 times multiplier, or whatever it may be multiplier. I forget exactly. It's every few levels. To be honest, I had like a big rule set emailed to me in PDF form, but I forget a lot of it. I've just been kind of playing. You know how it is. We're men, we don't read instructions. Instructions are for the weak. So I guess it was a few more than I thought in order. Oh, I needed to do this weird semi-jump at the very beginning of the level. There we go, got perfect again. Unfortunately, I've kind of screwed this up royally. I doubt I will get any more than 800,000, especially if this keeps up. It wants me to go slightly faster, but I was nervous that I couldn't make that jump. Apparently I could though, so, you know, should have just trusted my instincts. Or trusted the rhythm of my heart. Heart rhythm. Which is probably way too fast right now, considering I'm playing this game and trying to talk at the same time. It's not going too well. Oh, drop down, jump up, up, up. That was a bit of a sketchy last section of that level. If I'm going to be very, very honest with you. Got another perfect, up to a 10 times multiplier, so clearly the multiplier has increased. And these are some of my least favorite levels, because I hate the spikes. They're kind of the least predictable of the obstacles. Because there's so many of them, and you never know exactly where they want you to land, and sometimes you have to land right beside spikes, and you think you have to wait for them to be down again, but that's not the case. That's just not how it is. That was actually kind of nerve-wracking there. This whole level has been kind of nerve-wracking, so I'm up to a 16 times multiplier. If I can hold that for a while, I can make up for my bad play earlier. Except I can't hold that. Yeah. It was worth trying to get that, in my opinion. Even though some would argue that I really shouldn't have. And there's how you're supposed to beat the level. Again, this is one of those things where you're supposed to do one of those weird jumps slash waits at the beginning. Tom Waits. You're just supposed to have sex with Tom Waits before you start this level. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Actually, just having sex with Tom Waits, in general, a really good idea. Missed that crystal, don't get my multiplier. Am disappointed. I are talking badly. IRL. I are in a pit of despair. There we go, had to move a tiny bit more forward there. So 16 times multiplier really isn't working out for me. This is kind of where I start losing more often, and where I'm assuming I'm a worse player than the players in the top few positions. They're probably slightly better at least carrying on a run at this point. Or maybe they're slightly better at spending on the power-ups. Either one. The thing is, I go through a level once, and then I'm pretty much like, well, I don't need to spend the power-ups because I know how this is supposed to be beaten. This one I clearly don't know how it's supposed to be beaten though, because I keep screwing up over and over and over and over and over and jump and oh! Okay, I can do this. I can do this. Look at this. Look at how easy this is. It's like pi, but not at all, because pi is a complicated number that I don't approve of pi. I'm with was it the Texans who tried to legally change the value of pi because they thought it was too complicated? That was hilarious. People were like, you can't do that. If pi isn't pi, it doesn't work anymore. The universe doesn't fit together. Calculations just don't make sense. Oh, hell. I'm really trying hard here. This one should be an easy level, but you know, if you start failing at these types of levels, it just kind of is an endless downwards spiral. Sometimes if you fail once, you just can't get the rhythm. I'm not sure why that is. Weird mental block or something. Weird mental floss or something. I often find the levels with the spinning fires and like tons of spinning fires to be some of the easiest levels out there. I'm not sure why though, probably because if there is a lot of the spinning fire, the path that they want you to take is very clear. That could be it, so clearly they want me to jump up there, okay. I'd say that was a bit mean of them, but you know, whatever they feel like, whatever the random generator feels like giving me today. See, now I'm just kind of giving up hope, which is another big part of this game for me. That if I start doing badly, I continue to do badly because I just don't think I can do well anymore. I can get that last one. Get a perfect there, at least bring the multiplier up to 4 times. No! Oh, I was so close! That was probably the end of the level. So I'm supposed to hang out on this one for a bit, or I was probably supposed to jump according to the computer. And there we go, I probably have this. Just need to drop down onto this, onto this, onto this, and to the exit. Which is a lot like to the sea, but with more exits. Oh, really thought I would have that in one try. I'm still at 25 lives, so I still, with some very, very miraculous play, could catch up. But so far it's not seeming very likely. I think instead of slowdown, it gets frame drop, which, if this is going to be a high score game, is actually a pretty good thing. You can jump across and around those if you are fast enough, and if you have enough time, that is too. Because the first couple times, I did not have enough time to jump around the fire. I've screwed up the rhythm here, so now everything is a wee bit janky, as I've been saying consistently for the last 2 days. I can't stop, even though I'm even getting sick of the expression. My girlfriend's like, stop using janky. Fucking crappy. I'm like, oh, come on, it's janky. The word janky's janky, you fucking dickbag. Oh, no. So this time I am going to go with the path, because I don't know exactly how they want me to deal with this. I know I missed Crystal there, but it's more important that I lose less lives and get the multiplier back up. See, another reason I really dislike the spike levels is because they expect you to know which of these to jump on, especially the spike jumpy thing levels. And sometimes these can be a bit not great with the timing. Okay, so they want you to jump immediately and then go all the way across. Okay, no. So this was indeed correct. I did miss some obstacles because I doubted myself halfway through that. So they want me to do that tiny jump first. That tiny jump slash wait. Onto this. Up. 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 Away. And missed it. Might need to actually use the slow motion option for this. Do I have to stay on that? Do they want me to jump over it immediately? I have actually come across a level before that was impossible. I even asked the computer for help, and for help it told me to jump straight through a thing of fire, but I doubt this one is actually impossible, so I'm going to buy another power-up, because I know when to quit. Take a tiny bit more time there. So I managed to get a perfect. Unfortunately, this seems real hard. Okay, so jump, jump again. Oh, that was so close to being on my first try. So jump, wait, jump, and then I start on this. Get onto this, up, 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 forward. Let me on. Again, this is one of those levels where they want me to do this. That's one of the only things I have as a complaint about this. Either you should have to move at the beginning of every level, or you should be perfectly safe. Or they should be perfectly doable without the momentum. One of the two. So as you can tell, I very much screwed that up, but I was hoping I could survive anyways if I just waited long enough. So let's get the hell down here. And these platform levels, some of the most difficult because the spikes on the platforms are really hard. And here's one of those ghost levels I was talking about at the very early game. To be honest, I know they should be my least favorite, but I actually kind of enjoy these levels, and I couldn't tell you why. Because you have to make a lot of blind leaps of faith, especially if the coins don't line up quite perfectly. And then jump. Lovely, managed to keep a multiplier up for at least a couple rounds here. These levels are also fairly easy, but as you can tell, they can be screwed up. And sometimes I've found that they don't quite bring the path off perfectly. Like, you have to do ridiculous jumps. And I'm going to go in slow motion for this one, because it is kind of a pain in the dick. One of the problems I have with slow motion often, though, is that I don't hold the jump button long enough. Even though the controls are a bit floaty, the controls for this are very precise. And if you're... just let me live! Okay. And if you don't hold the jump button long enough, you won't jump high enough, and I guess that's fairly obvious now that I say it. And I did make it all the way to here without losing a multiplier, while talking and while really not managing to bring off a sentence with alacrity. I'm gonna bounce on this for a while because it's making me nervous. And that was also making me nervous, but I did manage to get across, and I have a 10 times multiplier now, which remember is more than the initial multiplier of the game. Oh, it pushed me down. By the way, you can't get crushed by things in this, but if you do get hit on the head too hard, like in a way that would crush you, it will make you fall through the block you're currently standing on. So, pretty much getting crushed to death. I was probably supposed to jump slightly further there. For some reason I really feel like I should be able to beat this one, but I will take the jumping path anyways. The jumping path has failed me. And by the jumping path has failed me, I mean I have failed the jumping path. Oh god. Oh no, please. So I'm not quite going fast enough, to be honest with you. I'm going too fast on the beginning segment, but not fast enough later? Okay. So have to watch the obstacles a bit better instead of the jumping path right now. Oh, because I'm supposed to just walk down that. Weird. So they hang out on this one for a bit and then jump. And walk down, jump, and I don't even care. I'm winning. I don't want the perfect. Fuck the perfect. Perfect is for the weak. I don't need score, I'll just keep living. So here's another one of those things where they want you to jump, wait a bit, and then go. Oh, got bounced downwards through a cloud. Sometimes getting up from a cloud onto one of these bouncy blocks can be... Oh, I'm not even supposed to get up, I'm supposed to walk through. Yeah, look at that. And then I'm supposed to get up onto one of those bouncy things through the cloud. And I managed to just beat that. I am kind of surprised, if I do say so myself. Sometimes these levels can be a bit of a pain in the ass, because again, if you don't know how they want you to jump to begin with, you're fucked. You're done. And there is the end of my life. You know, I think I will call that an episode. 86,000 points while talking is nothing to scoff at, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.